Hey, Cal here. Welcome to my series, Cheapest Possible House. Long story short, we found the land we really wanted, went into escrow, and our construction loan fell through. Fortunately, the owner was willing to finance us with a large down payment, so we took our entire life savings and purchased the land. Now, we're trying to do a cash build without any, cash. I was just reading in a Facebook builders group, couple buys land, couple gets quote from builder, $200,000 I think for small modest home. They have to save, COVID hits. Now a couple years later, same house, same builder, $420,000. So if your dream of home ownership seems out of reach, maybe you're looking for small ideas, big ideas, please hit the like and subscribe button. Follow me on my journey, and I promise you, you will see some crazy stuff you won't see anywhere else on YouTube as I attempt to build the cheapest possible house. I first want to define, what do I mean by cheapest possible house? Well, I don't mean building a yurt out in the middle of nowhere or building a house out of pallet wood. Okay, so I used a little bit of pallet wood, but we'll talk about that. As we began this journey, trying to think how could we possibly afford a home, maybe even achieve our dream of not owing a bank for the next 30 years and having this soul-crushing monthly payment every single month for the next 30 years. What could we do to build the cheapest possible house? One of the first things that we looked at was a mobile home, getting a used mobile home. It seemed like it's something that we could fix up, we could make it look attractive. It seemed like remodeling it was pretty easy. We immediately hit a block wall with financing, that there was just no way we could get financing for something like that. Even a new one, the prices were so outrageous, and it just seemed like even financing for that would be very difficult. Even getting something moved, a used one, would be like $6,000 to have it moved, to have it set up, and that's not even including the cost of the foundation. So immediately we just knew that that was not the way to go for us. We certainly looked at a lot of the YouTube videos about shipping container homes and tiny homes, stuff like that. And Belinda Carr, she has some really good videos I highly recommend. One of them was 7 reasons why a shipping container home is a scam. And if you are considering something like that, I really encourage you to watch that video and carefully consider the points that she made on that. But I would probably add an 8th one. And for us, we need to refinance our lot. The financing for the owner is only temporary, and so we need to refinance. And if we did something like a shipping container home or a tiny home, we'd never be able to get financing for it. And you could say it's going to be your forever home, but what if you get transferred out of state, you have to switch jobs, or you lose your job? How's a buyer going to be able to finance your property if you have something like that? So we came to the conclusion that the only thing really worth building for us would be a stick frame home. That even though we don't know anything about construction, this is what we're going to have to figure out. Our area where we live goes by 2018 International Residential Building Code, and we have to get permits, we have to follow the codes, we have to pass inspection on each phase. And so we're just not wanting to deal with all the different types of trendy homes. We're just going with a traditional stick frame house. Another thing with a mobile home and some of the other ones that I've seen also, it just doesn't seem like their value appreciates. It actually seems like the value of the property actually depreciates. So we're just going with just a basic stick frame house for our project. And when we say cheapest possible house, I don't think that necessarily means a cheap house. Again, Belinda Carr, I remember she was doing one where in her neighborhood, I believe it was in Dallas, $500,000 houses. They weren't even skinning them with OSB, that they were just using this cheap cardboard material and stuccoing over them. So I think if you build your own house, you can really have certain key points in your house where you can just spend a little bit more money and have a really quality product. I know around here they use this really cheap styrofoam. It's maybe 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch thick under the stucco. And it's like if you just go to 1 inch RMAX, something like that, you could make a huge difference in your insulation value, how much noise you get from the outside. I know Matt Reisinger, his video, he was talking about if you just go with 12 gauge wire instead of 14 for your outlets and then go with the 20 amp fuse, a lot less chance of your kids that might be addicted to video games popping fuses left and right. So when we say cheapest possible house, hopefully we're still going to add in quite a few features that's going to make it a really good quality house. For a long time, I never thought that we would own land like this. I never thought we would be able to purchase land and build a home. I thought that with our budget, it would always be out of reach. So I really hope in this series I could inspire you to keep reaching for your dream of home ownership, that you can make it come true. So as we begin to ask the question, how could we possibly afford a home? For us, the only answer we could come up with was we're going to have to build it ourselves. We just simply didn't see any other way. For us, going down to a loan officer and trying to get some ginormous mortgage simply wasn't an option. So usually when you think of build a house yourself, we got two groups of people, owner-builder, DIYer. Owner-builder usually means that you're going to act as your own general contractor. You're going to get subs out there to do the foundation, framing, all that stuff. Yeah, you can save a lot of money doing that. And there's some great YouTube videos out there. I like the Armchair Builder. You can just put Owner Builder right in the search bar, and there's some great YouTube videos on being an owner builder. But for us, yeah, you could save a lot of money, but still, it just wasn't enough to put us within budget. Plus, to be honest with you, dealing with other people is kind of a nightmare for us. Here's a YouTube video of a lady in Colorado. She just had her bathroom remodeled. She wasn't satisfied with the results, refused to pay, and the subcontractor forced his way back in with a sledgehammer. And so this is kind of what I picture dealing with owner-builder. So yeah, not something I really want to deal with. So DIY, that's what this series is going to be about. We're going to attempt to build the foundation, framing, everything. We're going to attempt to do it ourselves. Ways to save, that's another important way to get us within budget. I just read in a Facebook group that a lady just got a $4,000 refrigerator for $600 over at the big box store. Few scratch and dents, but man, what a great deal. Used items like Facebook Marketplace or maybe your neighbors. You know, I know some people will probably say, man, I'm not touching other people's stuff. That's nasty. But, you know, you can get some great deals out there. Free section on Craigslist. I got to admit, our backyard right now kind of looks like a Habitat for Humanity store. We kind of took this to the extreme as far as cheapest possible house. And we'll be able to use a lot of used materials, tools. And so I'm thinking, when I first started this journey, I didn't know anything about construction. And so I'm thankful for the YouTube videos like Larry Hahn, Matt Banks Wood, Perkin Brothers, Essential Craftsman. Wow, I learned so much from them. But a lot of it also isn't really DIY friendly. So that's what I'm really hoping to add there. And yeah, it's great watching them do the elevation, do the site planning, do the excavation. They got an $1,800 Sabila laser. Yeah, I couldn't afford that. You know, it's like, I think I spent like $20 to do my elevation. I think that'll be the next episode on footers. And when we first started looking at our footers, yeah, we could have gone down to the big box store and gotten a rental. But we decided, you know, her family overseas is saying she looks fat. So I decided to give my wife a shovel. My cholesterol was looking a little bit high, so we just got out there and dug the footers ourselves. Probably took about 3 days. It took a little bit longer, but we saved a lot of money, and I think it was totally worth it. So, beginner DIY, how can somebody with no construction experience build their own home? And so the first answer was, well, I can't. I mean, you look at these suburban homes, you look at the hills, the valleys, the architectural features, just think about the foundation crew that came in there, the framing crew. Yeah, there's no way I could do something like that. I mean, it just, got to be realistic here. I mean, there's just no way. So how are we going to build our own home? Well, we're going to have to dumb it way down. We're going to have to come up with a much simpler design. Probably have to be in a rural area because city zoning wouldn't allow for something like that. We're going to be going over a lot of the basic rectangle, how important that is in the design of the home. Safety. This is a big one. So for me, I've had my first accident. And when I first started, I didn't even know how to use a circular saw. And I'm thankful for YouTube videos like The Honest Carpenter, where just so much basic safety videos. I didn't even, really know what I was doing. So I'm really thankful for videos like that. But I had some dirt on the wood and my foot slipped. And yeah, that might not look like much, but that really hurt. I was out for the rest of the day. Formula for DIY. So first, what I'm trying to do is build a shed, just get, used to cutting, measuring, planning it out, just basic things. And I got to admit, there's been some real frustration. So here I am cutting the wood for my shed. It's all used wood that I got on the Craigslist free section. So trying to shape it up here. But yeah, there's some real frustrations is just trying to get this down here. I want to urge you as a beginner DIYer that if you feel you're becoming a danger to yourself and you're about to break a 2x6 over your head, please accept professional help. Seek professional help. And if you're an owner builder and somebody just quoted you $400 and now they're trying to charge you $750, and it looks like about a $200 job, and you feel you become a danger to other people, please seek out a local church, find a pastor, and talk to him about the importance of turning the other cheek. Okay, Doc, I'm ready. I think it started when I was about 8 years old. Yeah, not my proudest moment there, but just kind of illustrates just how frustrating it can be. So mostly this series is going to be about building our small guest house. It's just an 800 square foot home. We can get into it much quicker, hopefully, than if we attempted to build our main house right now. But last thing I really want to go into is we can afford to make huge mistakes. And I didn't realize how important that would be, that we've already suffered our first catastrophic failure. And I was thinking of the Titanic, when the iceberg hit it, it was such a massive ship that there was just simply no saving it. The repair was way too big at that point. But, if you think if it was just a little rowboat and that happened, probably just get some fiberglass patch out and you'd be down the road, And so when we suffered our first catastrophic failure, we were able to do some redesigns, resubmit it to a building permit, and we lost a couple thousand, but at least we're back on the road, and hopefully we'll be able to recoup some of that. So hopefully our next series after this, will be build the cheapest possible custom home, and so we're hoping to do that. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Follow me on my journey as I attempt to build the cheapest possible house.
I'm so worried. What's gonna happen to my husband?